Okay, so we are going to do things a little bit differently today. Wild Thing wanted to help me with the story today, but he said, I want to do something different. And you know Wild Thing, he's kind of different. So he said that today we should talk about imagining and pretending. How many of you are good at imagining and pretending? I know I am. I'm very good at it. Well, Wild Thing said that we should pretend that he's here with us to tell the story today. So let's try that and see if it works, okay? All right. So Wild Thing, how are you? Oh, that's great. I'm so glad you're... You did what? Oh, you don't even have any hands. How could you do that? Are you guys liking this story? Isn't this great? Wait, you guys don't, it's not working for you? We need something here, don't we? Because Wild Thing, we can't just pretend Wild Thing's here. It doesn't work that way. So how about this? Wild Thing said, if that didn't work, I should just go ahead and put my hand up here, and we'll pretend that this is Wild Thing, okay? Let's see if that works. Wild Thing, how you doing? Oh, doing okay. What were you saying before? I don't think the kids heard you. I went skydiving. You went skydiving. Mm-hmm. You know, this just isn't doing it for me. Does this look like Wild Thing? First of all, Wild Thing has a white body. Let's see if we can find a white body in here. Let's see if we can do this. Let's try. Okay, now we have a white body. There. Is that Wild Thing? Is that good enough? Well, I got a white body, but there's just something missing still. I know. He doesn't have any eyes. Let's get you some eyes, Wild Thing. Oh, much better. I can see. All right. So this is Wild Thing, right? We can imagine that this is Wild Thing. We can pretend. Not working for you? It's not really working for me either. There's something missing. I know what it is. Wild Thing has hair. He has lots of hair. You have no hair. I'm bald. let's see if we have some hair in here that we can put on. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, there. Now, Wild Thing is here to tell us our story. You just lost your hair again. You're going to talk. Okay, stop. This just isn't working for me. Is this the same as having Wild Thing here?
No. I think you need a puppet.
I think I need a puppet too. You know, I'm gonna. Let's see if Wild Thing is available. Because I got to figure out what does he want. What is he trying to say here? Because this just isn't the same thing as having Wild Thing here in person. Let's see what he's got in mind. Because I know he's got something in mind. Woohoo! Here I am. Yes. Wild Thing, what was this all about? Well, it's about using our imagination. You know, imagination is a good thing, but it wasn't the same thing, you not being here. My hand is not the same thing as Wild Thing. It just kind of feels weird talking to my hand sometimes. So what do you want to say about imagining and pretending? Well, first of all, I want to ask, who is the best at imagining things? Who do you think? Who is the best at imagining things? Who do you think, Cameron? Is it you? Oh, he's got a wild imagination. I know. I've seen some of his drawings. He's got a wild imagination. And I kind of have a wild imagination because I kind of come up with some pretty weird things. Oh, you too? What do you imagine?
Out the beach.
Oh, at the beach on a day like today. Better bring some sunscreen. You want to get a sunburn, that's for sure. So, but you know who the best imaginer is of all? I think God is. Jesus is. Because what did Jesus imagine? Oh, Jesus imagined all the plants and animals, and he created them, and he imagined each one of you. He imagined each one of us. That is fantastic that God would imagine each of us. He imagined me with a weird sense of humor. Got that right. And he imagined, I know Tyler and Tyson are really great at sports. Who's good at art? Who draws really well? I know Cameron does, and you do as well. and you guys do as well. And God imagines that for all of you.
I do.
You do?
Nathan doesn't know.
Nathan doesn't? He's got other skills that God knows about. That's right. So God imagined each of us in our own special way. But there's one thing. You said that God can't imagine something. That's right. God can't imagine heaven without us. You know, that's an interesting thought, because God can imagine all sorts of things. But just like we had a hard time imagining Wild Thing up here when he really wasn't up here, God can't really imagine heaven without us. Was it the same when Wild Thing was up here, when it was really just my hand? No, I don't think so. Would it be the same for God if we weren't there? I don't think so. No, God wants all of us there. And He has made a way so that we can all go to heaven and live with Him forever. And there's more. There's always more. Okay. And God has things in store for us that we can't even imagine. I can't wait to get to heaven so I can see what kind of new creatures I might meet and new kinds of trees I might see and all the beauty and splendor. It's going to be fantastic. And one day, we won't have to imagine because we'll be there ourselves. And that will be pretty cool. Thank you, boys and girls, for helping us imagine what it would be like without Wild Thing. It would be terrible. Thank you guys for joining us for our story.